All right, Mr. Moo, what are we having for breakfast? So you want egg on toast with avocado? But what about, why did you say jam? So in jam, what do you want? Oh, you want an avocado and egg toast sandwich? You want a toasted sandwich with egg and avocado. Egg on toast. Yes.
It's all right with me. As long as that goes with you.
Good morning, it is Monday and today I am just doing a daily vlog because I kind of dropped the ball the last 2 weeks, mainly because I've been a bit of hormonal despair. This week I'm just going to do a one-day vlog. I'm going to be doing a couple of things today. I have a few things to update you on. So basically we've done a couple of things around the house that I don't think I've shown at all, or I did in my last unedited, released vlog, which I might release in a couple of months, but I can't bring myself to look at the footage because I know that basically I'm filming on a new camera and I I had some teething issues, mainly being the fact that any of the footage that I would do, like moving around, it was all so shaky and I didn't put the correct setting on. So it's just, whatever I'm going to cut from that footage will be so uneasy, so uneven. I just can't bring myself to even bother. I haven't released a vlog. It's coming up on 2 weeks, I think. So basically this will be my first vlog in 2 weeks. I've got a couple of things to show you around the house, but today's plan is, I've written it down, so let's have a look. Okay, so I've got a couple of baking things that I want to do. I've got some hot cross buns that I need to trial because my last ones were a bit of a fail, which I'll put a picture of them up here on the screen. They visually look great, but the fact that the texture, it was like a rock. So I'm trying to make them lighter and fluffier. So I'm going to trial my hot cross buns. I also have some raspberry lemon donuts that I want to do because I'm trialing out my donut tin, because I'm going to make some carrot cake donuts for Easter. And then I have a focaccia that I want to trial out as well, because this Easter, I'm trying to make it a bit of a tradition in my family that every holiday, like major events, so like Easter, Christmas, I do a, what's the word I'm looking for? A pasta dish. So we're going to do like Christmas carbonara, where I make a special carbonara every Christmas. And then for Easter, I'm going to do like a beef ragu. But the thing is, I need to be able to perfect this gluten-free focaccia that I really want to try. And I've been I've been researching a lot of different recipes, and I found this one that uses whey protein, which helps it be like lighter and fluffier. So I'm really excited to see how that goes. And I'm going to put the whey protein into my hot cross buns as well. All of this I'm going to put in the video later, but right now I'm just talking you through what's going on. And then I've got some felt decorations that I want to do. Actually, I'm going to be doing some Christmas craft. Oh my God, I'm going to be doing some Easter craft with Max, and I'm going to do a couple of different things ready for his teachers tomorrow. So with the lemon raspberry donuts, I'm going to put them into a little box, which I'm going to gift to his teachers. And then I was going to get him to make some little flowers for them as well. So I bought this little like flower making kit, which we're going to do some flowers up tonight after he gets home from school. And then I can gift them to his teachers tomorrow with the boxes of donuts. So I bought this. And then I have some colored paper because I want to make like little Christmas crowns with like Easter bunny ears. So I've got some colored paper, or I think it's cardboard actually. So some colored cardboard. And then I'm going to put them on. This is much smaller than I thought, but I kind of am happy that it's A5, sorry, because it's not going to be as large to display, because I'm going to basically, there's a front of this kitchen counter and I'm going to put them and display them on the front. And then I've got some twine and some ribbon as well. I really want to do some Christmas, I keep saying Christmas. I want to do some Easter bunting and say like Happy Easter or something and put it on the front of this counter as well. And that's pretty much the day, well, not the day's plan. I'm going to do a little bit of that, but mainly the baking today. And then I've got some felt decorations, which I've already cut out, and I'll show those to you later. Basically, I've just got to sew them together, which I've done a tiny smidgen of it so far. Hopefully it's all done before Easter this weekend. And yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at today. Hope you enjoy hanging out with me today. welcome to the floor of my dining room, aka my baking area. So in here, I went through and tidied it all yesterday because I knew that I was going to be showing it and I did not want to show it in this state that it was. So this is my baking cupboard. I have all my different baking ingredients and all of my baking tins and stuff down the bottom. I'm just gonna whack it all up on the counter because I have quite a few things that I need to get out. I can't make my donuts yet because I've got some lemon essence coming in the mail. I did buy some fresh lemons, but realistically I don't really want to use them because I find that the flavor isn't strong enough and it probably would change the, what am I looking for? The texture of the donut itself. Generally with gluten-free baking, you do anything wrong, anything too much of something or too little of something being like too wet or too dry, it really changes the texture. I'm just going to wait for my essence to come before I do any of my donut stuff. I'm gonna try and start on my hot cross buns this morning. I think I'm gonna do the chocolate ones first because they're the ones I'm most excited about. I already have done the fruit ones and the flavor was perfect, but the texture was wrong. So I'm gonna try and do the chocolate ones first and then I'll move on to making a focaccia. And then after that, I'll probably do my, what's the word I'm looking for? My spiced hot cross buns. I thought I would talk you through my essentials for any gluten-free baking, especially if you're using the recipes that I have been putting out there. I'll list anything that I do today down below. My favorite brand to get is Honest to Goodness. I buy most of this on Amazon. You can get most of it on Amazon. You can get some stuff from Coles and Woolies, which I'll show you. But the main rice flours that I get, I've tried the rice flour from Coles and Woolies, which is, I think is Mackenzie's or something like that. It just is very gritty. It's not as fine as this. So I've got my white rice flour, this big honker bag, I think set me back about $35. And then I've got brown rice flour. My dad bought me another one the other week, so I'm almost out of the brown rice flour. And you can get potato starch and tapioca starch from Coles and Woolies. So this is the potato starch from Woolies. And then this is the tapioca starch that you get from Woolies as well. I don't know what I'm doing. So basically you can get those. However, longevity wise, cost, this stuff is better. This is the Lotus, also from Amazon as well. This is all of my little small ones. So again, psyllium husk from Woolies. You can get that online as well. And then I've got some buckwheat flour. Again, also you can get it online from either of Lotus or Honest to Goodness. But I just wanted to get it because it was there and I didn't have to wait for delivery. Guar gum I use in some recipes, but not all of them. I am more of a xanthan gum kind of gal. So again, you can get this from either of those companies on Amazon or you can get it from Woolies. Again, just easier to grab. Good old corn flour, and then I'm going to be using my baking powder today. I've got my classic baking powder. I've got some brewer's yeast, some baking soda. And then I'm going to be using some whey protein. I just got this. When I was talking to ChatGPT about different types of flour use, again, I find a lot of my information from ChatGPT because it's kind of like my baking guru. It said isolate, I don't know. That kind of whey protein would be so much better, but I'm not able to go grab that and I didn't really want to pay too much money in case it didn't work. We'll see how this goes. And then obviously I've got different types of sugar, brown sugar, white sugar. I don't bother buying caster sugar because white sugar, caster sugar, as long as you mix it enough and kind of like dissolve it, it's the same thing. Raw sugar and icing sugar. In the back, I've just got leftovers plus some almond flour. I don't know if I'll need more tapioca starch, but yeah, that's pretty much my baking cupboard. And now everything's up there. I'm gonna start organizing it so I can make some hot cross buns. Okay, I am just gonna go grab my computer and then I'm just gonna whack it down so that I can go through the recipe and just kind of like talk through what the plan is. And then I will probably get started. Of course, battery's going flat. Basically, what my issue was last time with my hot cross buns was the fact that they weren't light and fluffy enough. Now, it could be a couple of different reasons, which was the fact that I made them too big. And so when they cooked, they just took a little bit too long to cook and they became very dense. Or it was the actual recipe itself. I've actually got to go back onto here. I've got a couple of different flours within my hot cross bun recipe, which I'm going to use. because gluten-free flour is generally based off like a couple of different types of flours. It can't just be one thing, and not all gluten-free flours are created equal. So that's why I prefer to do my own flour kind of like combination in every single recipe. It's a little bit different based off the recipe that I'm making. So generally, whenever you want, for example, richer, chocolatey kind of recipe, you would use a little bit more brown rice flour compared to what you would say in like a vanilla cake. The ratio is always more white flour than brown, but generally the like richier, nuttier kind of flavors, you would have more brown rice flour. Because I'm doing a loaf style kind of recipe, I'm going to be adding in buckwheat and psyllium husk. Psyllium husk to kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Bind it all together and give it that extra poof. With gluten-free baking, you need to make sure you've got some scales. As I said, you have to make sure that it's as accurate as you possibly can make it, because if a little bit is out, you can tell. I'm going to start off with moving all of this stuff over here. If this turns out to be a fail, I will not put the recipe in the description below, because no one needs to make failed hot cross buns. But if they actually turn out half decent, I will put the recipe down below. All right, I'm going to use my trusty little spoon, and I'm going to spoon all, actually, I might use some of my brand new measuring cups. Okay, now I'm onto the garlic focaccia. I'm going to measure out all of my ingredients, and then I'm going to slowly get it all organized. I'm going to ask the question. I don't have olive oil. I do have avocado oil, but I don't know how much I have. It's saying 50 grams, but it is what it is. Okay, let's do this. Okay, putting that on pause for a moment because my hot cross buns are ready to be rolled into little thingies. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put everything off to the side. I need those, don't need these. Okay, that was stressful. So I have them all sitting out. Now I've got to let them rest for an hour, 45 to 60 minutes. So let's get that. Let's go 52 minutes. I don't know if I should cover them because they're very wet. I'm not going to cover them. Oh, cover them with alfoil. I'm going to turn the camera off. Once I've turned the camera off, I'm going to put the focaccia in here and then I'm going to rise it. I don't think I need to show you that because it's a little bit silly. And then I'm going to sit down and chill because then I'll have 60 minutes for this guy and then I'll have time left over for my hot cross buns. When the timer has gone off for the hot cross buns, I will turn you back on and then I'm going to show you how to do my little crosses. Now, the last crosses I did were very, very sad. Hopefully this time I can get it right. I will see. And then after that, once I put them in the oven, it'll be time for me to put my focaccia in the oven. And I have no idea what's going to happen from there. Stay tuned to find out. All right, I'll check in soon. Bye. While the camera was off, my lemon essence rocked up. So I've got that. Just take them out. So in a little bit, after I think these are baked, I'll probably look at doing my donuts. Right now, I am going to be mixing up the crosses for my hot cross buns. All right, so I just added some extra cocoa powder into it just to make it a little bit more brown. I have no idea if this is going to be too wet, but I guess we'll find out. Last time I did it, I did not mix it properly, and I kind of like decided, oh, I'll mix it in the back. Big bad decision, because it was like still clumpy, there was still bits of flour. 100% recommend mixing it in something else and then doing it. Now I'm gonna try and make sure it's a tiny little slip because I made it too big. I'm super nervous, but I'm really excited to see how these turn out. I guess you can just continue to watch and wait to see. The magic of editing will have these guys ready in like 2 seconds, but I've got about 20 to 25 minutes of them in the ovens. Wish me luck, and I hope that they're okay. I have some fresh herbs out here, and I thought I might pick some for my focaccia. I have some grass, apparently. I've got some rosemary, and then I've got some thyme. I think I'll leave it at that. I don't want to like overdo it. So I've got some thyme and some rosemary, and I'm going to just put them off to the side. And then when it's ready, I'll make my garlic and oil paste. This guy is going to be massive. All right, need a bowl. Okay, so this is currently what my focaccia is looking like. It looks disgustingly wet, but I can then put my avocado oil and garlic herb paste, dimple this with my fingers, and then put it in the oven. Basically, I have to wait for the hot cross buns to finish, so I'm going to wait for them to finish cooking. I have 2 minutes 30 left on this and 11 minutes left on the hot cross buns. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let that continue to develop over 10 more minutes. And then turn that up to temperature because it's only 170 right now. I need to turn it up to 180. I'm gonna just let that sit for a little longer. I really hope it doesn't spill over, but it probably will spill over. It is what it is. And yeah, watch this space. The focaccia has had about 15 minutes in the oven, and now I'm going to top it with some Parmesan cheese. 12 minutes in the oven, and then I will let you know what it looks like when it comes out. I just pulled it out of the oven and it's looking so delicious. I am very excited to cut into it and see what it looks like. Wow. The most funny looking one is this one here, plus it's got a little bit of flour that didn't quite mix in. So I'm gonna open this one up and see. It's still doughy. And I feel like I can taste the yeast. I don't know if it'll taste any different the cooler they get. I think the texture I'm looking for is spongy. Couldn't help myself, I just ate the whole thing. Okay, thought I'd do a little bit of crafting. I have 3 flours done, and then I have 1 flour left to go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish all of my flours, and then I'm gonna stuff them slightly. Actually, I need to get my ribbon because I'm gonna use ribbon as the little hoops. Once I've done that, I'm then gonna move on to the next. So I've got some little bunnies, I've got some carrots, and then I've got some little chicks that I'm gonna do. And I don't know what I'm gonna do exactly. I don't know if I'm gonna go do bunting or if I'm gonna hang them on my little Christmas tree. My Easter tree. What is it with me in saying Christmas It's not Christmas, it's Easter. It's very much Easter. Anyway, I digress. I'm gonna put something on the TV and I'm gonna slow go at this sewing. Don't mind me, I've just spilled all of this water on me and I don't need to hear it from you, Jaren, because I understand the water bottle is too big, my mouth is too small. Anyway, I have just put all of my focaccia pieces in the oven because I think they will taste really good once the whole outside is all crispy. So look, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. This was supposed to be a test anyway. I truly believe that this isn't gonna hurt it. Oh, quickly, I did finish 3 of my flowers. I kind of lost patience and decided, you know, it's done. One of them ended up a little bit worse for wear. It is what it is. Like, it's just a little bit of fun. That's my little Easter tree. Already has some felt stuff from Kmart. It adds a little bit of flair with my dodgy looking homemade decorations. Anyway, I'm gonna make some donuts. I've finished all of the baking. I've finished putting it all in their boxes, and now I am going to get all of this washing in, and afterwards we're going to go grab Maxie. I think we're going to go get the tile cutter out of the back of the car. What else? Jaren's going to have a go at cutting a tile, I think, and just seeing how the actual tile cutter works. And that means that we can actually start doing the tiling around the pool fence. Actually, I remembered I was going to talk about what it is that we have done so far, what we've done since I last updated you. So basically, Jaren's been working on cutting back all of the concrete that was bulging when we did the tile, when we did the concrete footing itself. And then we also have, wait for the camera to finally get itself sorted. And then we have the pebbles that we've done outside the garden shed. They're finally done. And we actually pulled our finger out and put all of the stuff into the garden shed. So look at us go. We're finally getting things done. Oh, actually also, I don't know if you're able to see it. I don't know if you can see that. We did the curtains in the bedrooms over the wardrobe, so those are done. I really want to get new curtains for the bedroom windows themselves and the living room area, because they're about 5 or 6 years old, have some terrible, awful looking stains on them, and some suspicious holes. So hopefully I can get some new curtains, but enjoy me taking in the washing, and I'll probably fold it later.
A red thing is at the top.
Yeah. All right. But you are a big boy.
No, I'm not big enough.
You aren't big enough. Oh. Are you down?
No.
No. Ah. Oh no, it's just his hands. Keep going.
I'm doing so well, Mom.
You are. Okay, so for dinner we have build your own burgers. I'm not eating one. I've eaten way too much stuff today, so I'm not particularly hungry. So the boys have some beef patties and some salad and some buns, and I'm just, please be careful with that, thank you. And I've just got some chippies in the air fryer, and then I'm gonna see if Max will want to build his own burger. Do you want to build your own burger? Do you want to make your own burger?
Yay!
I think he wants to make his own burger.
I'm going to make my own burger then.
Squeeze all over the place. Oh. Yep, put it on top. You read 2 books, aren't you lucky? Alright, so I am just going to get myself ready for tomorrow. I've just got to get my walking gear out so I can make sure that I've got everything ready before I wake up tomorrow. Socks, undies, sports bra, shorts. And then I think my shoes are out there already. I've got myself ready for tomorrow. I've got all my walking gear. I've got my shoes already sitting in the thing. I am going to go grab my computer, sit down in bed, and I'm going to probably fall asleep in the next 45 minutes. It is not even 7:45, and that's okay. Pretty much another repeat of today. A repeat of today, tomorrow, and then, yeah, bye.